Welcome back. It's Dr. Jennifer Boney, Doctor of Physical Therapy, better known as DocJenFit, owner and creator of Gen Health, your platform for all aches and pains and just wanting to feel good within your body. And today I'm going to really be focusing on pregnancy because that's where we're at here. But I'm going to take you through an amazing flow if you're having any low back tension or discomfort, which is so common during pregnancy. Now, I'm also going to talk about a plan that I've been doing myself that has helped tremendously. So stick around to the end because I'm going to give you some details on that where I'm following it day by day and not having to think, which is crucial, right? Because we kind of lose our minds a little bit during pregnancy. Now, you really don't need anything for this flow, which is so nice. I do have a pillow here for some extra comfort around my knees. So that's something that I would recommend just grabbing real quick, or you can also fold your mat up a couple times just so it can have more cushion under your knee because we are going to be in a half kneeling position. Now, we're going to start with a hip flexor to quad stretch. Okay. And I'm going to show you a couple variations of how you can do this one. So we're going to start by tucking that tailbone under, really tucking that tailbone under. So thinking of that tailbone coming under, and I squeeze my cheek here. Now my front hand is going to slide on the inside of that front leg, and then I come up and I reach as high as I can, tucking that tailbone under even more as I lean up and over and stretch forward. Now, immediately you should start to feel that stretch along that front of the hip. That's getting into the hip flexor, okay? We don't have to go all the way forward, and we certainly don't want to bend from that low back. So that's why I want to tuck that tailbone under so I extend from that low back, and then I reach up and over, and I get that side stretch to really start to get into that hip flexor area. Now, the key here is to breathe and relax. So just a couple breaths, and then I'm going to come down and I'm going to grab for my foot and tuck that tailbone under. So again, when I do a quad stretch, it is not just bringing my heel to my bottom. It's actually more about tucking that tailbone under because my quad connects all the way up into my hip bone, and that's how I'm going to feel that stretch. Okay. And then we'll come back out and we'll take a couple breaths in each position. If you have difficulty reaching for that back leg, I just want to show you real quick. We are going to have it up onto an elevated surface already, like a couch or an ottoman. And I take my hand and I reach it up for that hip flexor stretch, leaning forward, and then I come back and I tuck that tailbone under and I lean back toward that quad stretch. And then I would come up, take a couple breaths, 1 or 2, breathing into that low belly rib cage area, and then come back and get into that stretch. And again, let's do it on the other side. So I'm going to come here, tuck that tailbone under, reach up to the sky. So it's about 3 times. Breathe, reach, breathe in, breathe out. And then I come back, reach for that foot, tuck that tailbone under. Couple breaths. Slowly let it down. Reach up, tuck that tailbone under. This hand creates stability in the front leg. So I kind of press into that front hand as I lean up and over, and I kind of get a little bit of a twist. With that twist, it helps me to elongate even more into that hip flexor, and then reaching back, tucking that tailbone under. Again, the quad stretch doesn't have to be a balance stretch, so you can certainly have something to hold on to as well around you, so that you're not trying to, fall out of it. Again, tuck that tailbone under, reach over, take a breath in, and then reach back, tuck that tailbone under, take a couple breaths. Okay, so we're getting that front line of the body to relax, where we put a lot of tension just by kind of leaning into our hips a lot in the front. So we want to make sure that we're relaxing some of that tension here. Okay, now from here, I'm going to flip around and show you where I'm at. We're going to just move that leg out to the side, and I'm going to stretch over into a QL stretch. So now I'm going to really lean to the side as much as possible, press into this arm, and take 3 big breaths. And you're going to feel that a lot through that QL. Breathing in. Oh. So that's a little muscle that is attaching into our pelvis from our low rib cage. And sometimes it can get locked up and tight, especially with any kind of back discomfort. So just going to your tolerance. You don't have to be bending all the way. You don't have to look like me. Okay, you get to look like you. We'll switch legs. And again, with that leg in front, we're just going to move it out to the side, reach up, and come over and take some big deep breaths into that side, melting and relaxing. You want to make sure that as you're using these breaths and as you're leaning into this stretch, it is not something you're fighting against. If you're fighting against it, we're creating an opposite effect. So you really want to make sure you're only leaning as far forward into what is comfortable for your body, which again doesn't have to be very far. Okay. Then right from here, I'm just going to place my hands down and let my leg come out to the side. Now from here, I'm going to rock back. So I'm going to rock back. When I rock back, I want to think of now tipping my tailbone up a little bit. So rather than rounding down, tip that tailbone up. That's going to keep the back a bit straighter. Lean back until you feel a stretch along that inner thigh into that groin, and then come back. Okay, so again, keep that back straight. Tailbone kind of lifts up to the sky. Have a slight bend in that knee, especially if you're feeling a little bit hypermobile, and come up. Rocking back, up. We'll do about 5. And then switch sides. Okay, so getting that to just completely relax, leg out to the side. Have that foot flat, shoulders back, tailbone lifted up to the sky, slight bend in the knee. And as soon as you feel that stretch, so the goal here isn't to just round into your back and sit onto your heel. We can all sit onto our heel, but it's really to keep a long, elongated spine, tailbone up to the ceiling. And as soon as you feel that stretch from that knee into that groin, you come right back out of it. Okay, exhale on the way back to relax that muscle. Inhale on the way up. Exhale on the way back. Inhale. And last one, exhale. Inhale. Great. Okay, now we're really going to focus on just moving from the low back. So a lot of times we get stiffness into that low back. So instead of doing a cat-cow where we're really focusing on the upper back, I want you to actually press away from the ground and lock that upper back right into place. So it's not rounded. Okay, it's just think about shoulder blades together, shoulder blades apart, and it just locks into the floor right here. Now, the goal is to only move from the low back. So we're going to arch the back as much as possible by tipping that tailbone up toward the sky, hip bones into your thigh, and then reverse, tuck that tailbone as much as you can, and then come out. Shake it out. Exhale. Rounding it. Inhale. Let that tip forward as what is comfortable for you. Remember, we're moving within your range of motion. If you are wincing or in discomfort, you are shortening that range of motion. So if there's like that's a pinch, don't go into it as far. The active movement here allows your body to explore where your current range is. And I'm telling you, the more that you come back and you do this, the better it's going to improve. And the less it's going to be as sensitive and the stronger into the low back that you're feeling. Okay. So about 5 to 10. I like to exhale. So I'm kind of scooping up from the belly as I tuck that tailbone under. Inhale, relax, exhale. Inhale, relax. Okay. And then we're just going to go spread the knees and go into child's pose. And as I take breaths in, I want to think of breathing into my low back area. Breathing in, expanding, and relaxing. And if you are into your last trimester, like I am, you can even come up a little bit more. Breathe into that low back. And more of this inverted position with your hips higher than your shoulders kind of helps to also reset baby's position. So this is a great place to end. You can spend, 10 breaths here. You can spend 5 minutes here. You can do what you need to relax that tension from that low back. And hopefully those exercises you felt kind of helped to relax tension around the area by opening up your hips, getting some active movement, and relaxing the body. Now, you can come back to this as often as you would like, but also know that I have been doing the full body mobility plan on Gen Health throughout this pregnancy, and it's helped so much to relieve any kind of tension and pain that I've been having, from round ligament pain to low back SI issues, pubic symphysis pain, you name it. Getting that active and relaxed mobility around my whole hips and spine has been so incredibly helpful. So if you want a plan to follow where you don't have to think, it takes 5 to 15 minutes a day, I'd highly recommend checking out the full body mobility plan. You can always modify exercises for pregnancy. And if you need help with further modifications, you can always reach out to me. And because this plan is really for everyone, but it's been so helpful in pregnancy. We have 3 phases that you can continue to progress into and continue to do more so that you can just have something to follow without having to think. And bonus, if you use code mobility as you come into it, you can start your first month for just $20, and you have a 30-day plan to follow mobility consistently and really feel the difference within your body. So I hope you try it out. Let me know if you do, and let me know if you have done it in the past. Drop your comments below. Don't forget, if you love what you're learning, I have so much more in stock for you. So hit that subscribe button, check out the other videos I've done in the past, and leave any comments of any suggestions that you have for videos in the future. And I can't wait to help you feel incredible and amazing within your body.